Good morning. Again, we want to continue our discussion in the subject physics. The previous class, we have started the wave optics, in which various theories of light we have seen. What is Newton principle, rectilinear propagation, how it fails. Later it was modified by the scientist, hygiene. What is its drawback, how it is modified by Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. The last theory is called Planck's quantum theory. It is a quantum. So Planck boldly suggested that if light is form of energy transmitted from one place to another place through copper spools, no doubt about it, but a group of copper spools combinedly called as quanta. So the light energy transmitted from first quantum to second quantum to 3, like that light energy transmitted. Light is the form of energy transmitted through copper spools in the form of wave. What does it mean? It is a bundle, one packet, that is called quanta. Then the theory is called quantum theory. Each particle inside the quanta is called photons, light of energy, photon. So Planck boldly suggested that light has both particle nature as well as the wave nature. Light behaves particle as well as the wave nature. That is called dual aspect. So it is called dual aspect. So when it is particle aspects for reflection of light, refraction, total internal reflection, and also your photoelectric effect. For refraction, we are having interference of light, diffraction of light, and polarization of light. So these are the classification. So if you apply quantum theory, it proves photoelectric effect also. It applies particle nature, all others. So that the final conclusion, light is a form of energy and it has dual aspects. Why Newton theory fails only particle nature, while wave theory proposed by Huygens and the electromagnetic theory proposed by Maxwell's theory fails only wave nature. Why the quantum theory succeeds? It has both particle as well as wave nature. Very clear. So this is the thing you have to understand it. So we can pass on to the superposition of waves. The superposition of waves called interference. So interference, it is a superposition of two waves produced maximum intensity at some point and a minimum intensity at some other point is called interference. So if there are two waves like that, so if the two waves superimposed, they become a single wave. Therefore y is equal to y1 plus y2. This is a principle of superposition. At some place it has maximum intensity, at some it has minimum intensity. So alternate maximum and minimum intensity we are obtaining, so that this is called interference pattern. When you superimpose, when it is maximum, when it is minimum, that is called conditions. Condition for getting maxima. The first condition, we should know the path difference. If path difference is n lambda, where n is an integer, 0, 1, 2, etc. Then the condition for maximum. And also the phase difference. Phi is equal to 2 pi by lambda into x. That is equal to 2 pi, 4 pi, etc. 2n pi. And also 2 crust meets, and also 2 trough meets. There is a thing how to understand it. The path difference, the phase difference, 2 crest and 2 truck. These are the conditions for bright or maximum intensity. Similarly, if the path difference is equal to 2n minus or plus 1 lambda by 2, then the phase difference is equal to pi, 3 pi, etc. 2n minus 1 or plus 1 pi. Suppose 1 crest and 1 truck. So these three are conditions for dark or minimum intensity. So we have to keep in mind all the 7 conditions. 4 conditions for bright and 3 conditions for dark. Then the intensity is maximum, then the intensity is minimum. This is a condition. So this is I have given. The resultant intensity IR is equal to I1 individual intensity, I2 another wave intensity plus square root of 2 1 T2 or I1 I2 cos phi. If I1 is equal to I2, both the light are having same intensity, then IR is equal to, that is 4I cos squared phi by 2. I1 is equal to I2, that is equal to I. That is equal to 2I plus 2 into root of I squared, that is 2I. 2I plus 2I, 4I cos squared phi by 2. Clearly, intensity maximum is equal to 4I because cos 0, 1. Therefore, intensity maximum is 4I and intensity minimum is 0, 180. These are the conditions you have to remember. I have given clearly. Hence, variation of intensity in space called interference pattern y is equal to y1 plus y2. Just now we are saying. What are coherent sources? Two waves of same frequency, same intensity in phase, they are called coherent source. My question is, in order to get interference, the sources must be coherent or any two light ray can be interfered. There is a usual question, you have to understand it. First you have to understand, in order to get interference, any two light ray can be interfered. Then why we have studied why in our syllabus we are introducing coherent source. If you are introducing the coherent source, it is clearly shows that to study about sustained interference. What is sustained interference? The position of bright and dark or maximum or minimum intensity are fixed. That is called the sustained interference. So these are the place where maximum intensity, these are the place where minimum intensity. Everything is there. So we have to fix. Otherwise, we are getting only mixed or confused interference. So that is not possible to study separately. So in order to study and also understand interference, we need sustained interference. Which produce sustained interference? Coherent source alone produce sustained interference. So this is I have given. The amplitude should be equal, gives good contrast between bright and dark frame. Two sources should be very close to each other. The source should be monochromatic. These are the conditions for getting. Then what is a Young's double slit experiment? So usually we are using the word YDSC. YDSC means Young's double slit experiment. So there are two openings here. There are two openings. This opening also vertical opening. So we call it as slit. So that we are calling it as a slit. This is opening A. This is the opening B. So if light is coming from a single source, it emits light in all possible directions. So these two light rays are derived from a single source. The distance between the two sources is always called small d. Don't forget it. If I place a screen at a distance capital D, the distance between the source and the other thing. So the light rays from a first source, light ray from the second source, they meet each other, and also if light rays coming from each light can interfere. So this is a central light. The central light is always maximum. What is the reason? That is a usual entrance question. Why the central light, interfering light from A and B maximum? So we know the path difference. We have to find the path difference. Here the path difference is AO minus BO. Since AO and B are equidistant, the path difference value becomes 0. If path difference is 0, condition for maximum. So that we already just now I given the 7 condition, among which 4 conditions for bright. Kindly check the first condition. So if you are finding what is the thing from the given data or given diagram which is possible to measure. So as far as this diagram is concerned, only path difference can be measured. So that I got AO minus BO. Automatically they are equidistant from the source. Therefore, automatically the path difference becomes 0. For example, if I take a light from A also goes there, another light ray from B. They meet at M. These 2 light rays are meet at M. What about M? M may be bright or dark. What is the reason? So we have to find the path difference. Path difference, longer distance, that is BM minus AM. So what is this value? We don't know. It is not possible to find out. We don't know what is the distance of BM, what is the distance of AM. If it is available, then subtract it, then it is possible to fix whether M is bright or dark. But as far as this condition is concerned, it is not possible to find what is M. So this distance of M is X. So M may be bright or dark. So in between these two, alternate bright and dark bands are formed. This is a condition we have to understand. So the central light is always maximum, another light alternate bright and dark bands are formed. The band, this is called interference bands or interference fringe. Whatever may be that. Interference bands or fringe. So this is actually happening. So how can you calculate whether M? Suppose I take M is bright. If M is bright, what happens? If M is bright, we have to find the path difference. For path difference, the distance of this bright bond is nothing but capital D by small d into L lambda. This is a formula for find out if M is bright or distance of nth bright bond. The problem is asked, calculate the distance of nth bright bond. We have to use this formula x suffix n is equal to capital D by small d into N lambda. If you are knowing n, capital D distance of the screen from the source, small d distance between the two sources, n is an order, lambda is called wavelength. Knowing all, we can able to find out the distance of bright bond. So suppose if M is dark, we don't know whether it is bright or dark. If it is dark, then the distance of nth bright bond can be calculated by using the formula d by d into 2n minus r plus 1 lambda by 2. So this is a formula for finding dark bond. So keep your mind for entrance examination, we can able to find out the distance of M. If it is bright, use this formula. If it is dark, use this formula. Why I am putting minus or plus? If I am putting n is equal to 0, we are getting minus lambda by 2. Avoid that 1. If n is equal to 0, lambda by 2. If n is equal to 1, 2 into 2, 4 minus 1, 3 lambda by 4, or 4 plus 1, 5 lambda by 2. Whatever may be the thing, these are all odd multiples. You have to get an odd multiple, so that I put 2n minus or plus 1. Whatever may be the thing, it is correct. In most of the North Indian book, they are following 2n plus 1. What is the reason? If n is equal to 0, we can get the first condition, lambda by 2. So that, anyhow, what is your idea? We have to get the odd multiples of pi for dark, even multiples of lambda for bright. That is the thing you have to understand it. The next one is called the bandwidth. What is the bandwidth? How can you calculate the bandwidth? The distance of the two adjacent bright bond or distance between the two adjacent dark bond will give the bandwidth. The formula for bandwidth, you have to keep your mind, capital D by small d into lambda. This is the formula for bandwidth. Once we know capital D at small d and wavelength, simply substitute it, beta can be calculated. So these are the things you have to understand. So these are all given in the chart. So everything, this is the thing I have to understand. The bandwidth is distance between the two adjacent points. That is n is the previous one, n minus 1. Therefore d by d n lambda, d by d n minus 1 lambda. Therefore d by d n lambda minus or minus plus d by d into lambda. Therefore plus and the minus cancels out. We are getting the answer capital D by small d into lambda. This is the formula for bandwidth. And also some this is a band pattern, bright and dark alternate. So that I have given like that. This is a distance x from the central light. What happened? That's the entrance questions. Also somebody, the question is asked. If two slits are there, if any one of the slit is closed, what happened? If any one of the slit is closed, what happened? If any one of the slit is closed means we are getting only one light ray. So for getting interference, we need two light rays. Since one of the slit is closed means emergent light is only one, so that we are not getting interference. We are getting only illumination, white or highly brightness alone be seen. The question is asked, if any one of the slit is closed, what happened to the fringe means no interference taking place. Therefore, no fringe is there. Uniform illumination taking place on the screen. That is the correct answer. Otherwise, in the path of this light, I place a transparent glass plate of thickness T. Then what happened to the fringe? If I put a transparent glass plate of thickness T, then what happened? Then what happened means there is a shift of fringe taking place. That is given in the slides. So kindly refer it. Angular width of the fringe. What is the angular width of the fringe? That is a d theta is equal to beta by d or lambda by d. This both the formula is there, angular width. Angular width means interference pattern like that. So this is the angular width. So this is called angular width. What is the angular width? Angular width is small lambda by d. That is a formula. Because we know beta is equal to d by d into lambda. So lambda by t keeping here this beta by d. So both the formula may be correct. Shift of fringe by introducing a thin slab. Effective path mu t. Mu is a different index of the material of the glass plate. T is the thickness. So effective path is mu t. Therefore path difference xd by d minus mu minus 1 into t. For maximum xd by d minus mu minus 1, this is a xd by capital. xd by capital D minus mu minus 1 into t. For maxima, xd by small d capital D minus mu minus 1 into t is equal to n lambda. Therefore, path increases by p minus 1 into t. Therefore, from this shift can be calculated. That is d by d n lambda plus d by d. If it goes on other side, mu minus 1 into t. Fringe is shifted by capital D by small d into mu minus 1 into t. This is important formula for shift of fringe. The fringe is shifted always towards upward direction, and the bright side capital D by small d into mu minus 1 into t. That is a formula for shift of fringe. Yes, we can. So another method is called Fresnel's biprism method. The Fresnel's biprism method, just we have seen YDSC, Young's double slit experiment. The second method is called Fresnel's, F-R-E-S-N-E, Fresnel's biprism. The Fresnel's biprism method, we are having two prisms of same material if the source is there. If light go on incident on the refracting edges, the light rays appear to come from A and B. Since there are two light sources, A and B are derived from a same source, then both are coherent source. If I place a screen, or light ray may be getting. So we are getting interference pattern. What is the meaning of here? Here also we are getting interference pattern, alternate bright and dark band. This is the distance capital T. So here we are getting two light rays after refraction. So here we are getting coherent sources after refraction. In Young's double slit experiment, we are getting coherent sources directly. That is the difference. Here also the value of beta is equal to capital D by small d into lambda. This is a formula for finding bandwidth in the Fresnel's biprism. In addition to central silver, sometimes the question is asked this distance. What is this distance? Distance of the biprism from the source. A, small a is called distance of the biprism from the source. How can you calculate the distance of the biprism from the source? So we know that small d value is always equal to 2a into mu minus 1 into alpha. This is a formula you have to keep your mind. The distance between the two slits small d is equal to 2a into mu minus 1 into alpha. So once we know all the thing, a can be calculated. What is called a? A is the distance of the biprism from the source. This is the thing you have to understand. Yeah. So another method is called layered single mirror method. The layered single mirror method, we have to keep your mind for so many considerations. Here we are producing the coherent source by reflection. So since there is a mirror will be there, if light rays incident gets reflected, also incident gets reflected. Here also I get two coherent sources derived from a single source. If it is a mirror, that is called layered single mirror. Only one mirror is there. So here these two coherent sources are derived from a single source. These two coherent sources are after reflection we are getting. The interference pattern may be seen on the screen. Here also alternate bright and dark bands are formed. What is the difference here in layered single mirror method? Here the law Stokes law is introduced. What is the Stokes law? So immediately Stokes law means we have to imagine only in the viscosity. That is a Stokes law in viscosity. Here we have to see the Stokes law in light. What is Stokes law? When light ray travels from rarer medium to denser medium and gets reflected into the denser medium. Here kindly go through the diagram. Here light coming from rarer medium, that is from air, incident on the glass plate, that is denser medium, gets reflected. Then there is an automatic phase change of pi. Phase change of pi will be arise. PHASC. Phase change of pi. If pi means what is happening? So kindly see this pen. This pen is at a zero angle. This is a top, this is the bottom. If the pen turns 90 degree, no effect. If the pen turns 180 degree, what happens? That is out of phase. That is 180 degree. If the pen turns 180 degree, automatically top become bottom, bottom become top. Entirely reversal. That is called phase reversal. Then 270 degree, no effect. If it is 360 degree or 0 degree, then original. If it is original phase, this is called in phase. Therefore 0 degree or 360 degree are called in phase. 180 degree is called out of phase. So when the light rays are after getting reflection, automatically out of phase. Out of phase means the condition is reversed. So hereafter, once we want to find interference by reflection, we have to condition is reversed. That means the four conditions is L lambda. This is the condition for tau. The 2n minus 1 or plus 1 lambda by 2 is for bright. So why the condition is reversed? Because automatic phase change of phi. Instead of bright, it looks dark. Instead of dark, it looks bright. That is the thing you have to keep your mind. So just now we have seen there are three methods for the production of coherent sources. The first method, Young's double slit experiment. The second method, Fresnel's biprism method. The third method, the Lloyd single mirror method. These are all given in the. Here Stokes' law is used. That is, light from rarer medium incident on denser medium and reflected undergoes automatic phase change of phi. Just now I have given the explanation what is the phase change of phi. Condition for maxima 2n minus or plus 1 lambda by 2. Condition for minima n lambda. The positions of maxima and minima interchange. That's all. Bright become dark, dark become bright. Okay. Then interference in thin film. This is another important topic. The interference by thin film also you have to understand. That is an application. The interference by thin film, application of interference by reflection. What is thin film? Anything very, very thin is called film. Thin film means very, very, very thin. So oil, in the rainy season, roadside also, oil sprayed. When it is exposed to sunlight, we are seeing colorful pattern on the road. And also oil or any dust particle on the water surface, it is exposed to sunlight, we are seeing a colored ringed pattern on the surface of the water. They are all interference due to thin film. And also we know pumped soap solution. Surf or anything, any soap solution pumped one. We are getting a pumping water that is exposed to sunlight. What happened? We are seeing wonderful colored pattern on the soap pumped soap solution. These are all due to interference. So these are all interference due to reflection. So the interference due to reflection, entire condition is there. One among the important the thing is called theory of thin film. Usually the question is asked, what is the optimum thickness for the interference film taking place? Usually this question is asked, your answer must be 100 angstrom. So for getting interference, we need 100 angstrom thickness. Suppose oil film is floating, the answer is 10,000 angstrom. That is the optimum thickness. What is the optimum thickness for getting interference? 100 A and 10,000 A, keep your mind. So like that I take a film, the film of thickness T. The thickness T is not such a broader. For understanding I draw like that, this distance is very, very small. If light ray enters, gets reflected, another light ray refracted and reflected from denser medium coming out. Here also two light rays are derived from a single source. These two light rays are acted as a coherent source. They interfere, they form interference pattern. This is actually happening. Here what is the path difference? Here also path difference 2 mu t cos r. This is the path difference. That may be equal to 2n minus r plus 1 lambda by 2 for bright. This 2 mu t cos r is equal to simply n lambda for dark. Here also an important problem usually asked in GIPR in all medically sponsored examination. When light ray incident normally on the film of thickness T, they produce interference pattern. Then which color of the light is reflected? The color asked in the problem means we have to find out the value of wavelength. That is, keep your mind. In order to calculate the wavelength, if you are able to find out the wavelength, that gives the color. So here also 2 mu t cos r is equal to lambda by 2. Generally for first, if n is equal to 0, 2 mu t cos r is equal to lambda by 2 or lambda is equal to 4 mu t cos r. Usually the problem is given as under normal incidence. If normal incidence means I is equal to 90. If I is equal to 90, R becomes 0, don't forget it. Under normal incidence, any problem starts with a normal incident, you have to consider that I become 90. If I become 90, R automatically become 0. Cos 0 become 1. Therefore, lambda simply is equal to 4 mu t. This is a formula for finding wavelength. Once we know the refractive index of the film and the thickness of the film, we can able to find out the wavelength. Under normal incident, which color of the light is used? If your answer is around 4000 or 500, we can take the blue color. If your answer is around 5500, you can take the green color. If answer is 6500, you can take yellow color. If answer is 7500, took red. So, according to the wavelength value, only we can identify the color. This is approximate value. Approximately 4500, approximately 5500, approximately 6500, approximately 7500. So it is possible to find out the wavelength. Once able to find out the wavelength, immediately we can fix the color, which color of the light is reflected. So these are all the things I have given in the chart. Then we have to find out the Newton's ring. Newton's ring also application of interference by reflection. Newton actually take a glass plate. In the above glass plate, he fix a plano convex lens. One surface is plane, another surface is convex surface. It is placed on the glass plate, then air thickness varies from maximum T to 0. That is a varying thickness. If light rays are enters, gets reflected and refracted, again reflected from denser medium. These two light rays are acted as coherent sources. So this just like that, interference by reflection using thin film. That is called theory of thin film. So why the film here? What is the shape of the film? This film is called air film, not oil. Here in between the plano convex lens and the glass plate, there is a air of varying thickness. The air itself acted as a film. That is the thing you have to keep in your mind as far as a Newton's ring is concerned. This varying thickness ring or film produces interference pattern when it is viewed through microscope. The interference pattern observed not in the form of fringes but in the form of ring. So it is called Newton's ring. Why we are called this Newton ring? The interference pattern not in the form of bands but in the form of ring. The center of the Newton ring, this is the center of the Newton ring. The center of the Newton ring is always dark. What is the reason? So the same argument also here. The center, the path difference is 0. When path difference is 0, instead of bright, it looks dark. That is the answer. So actually it looks bright. Instead of bright, why it looks dark? Automatic phase change of phi. Instead of bright, it looks dark. What is the reason? When light travels from rare medium to denser medium, and reflected from denser medium undergoes an automatic phase change of phi. Due to this phase change, it has to look in the form of bright, but unfortunately it looks dark. That is the reason of phase change. So these are the things you have to understand in the Newton's ring. Here also you have to find out the radius of the nth dark ring. This is a first ring, this is a second ring, third ring. Like that, radius of the nth dark ring can be calculated by using the formula n or lambda, where n is an integer order 1, 2, 3, etc. or radius of curvature of plano convex lens. So we have to complete the convex lens. So this is the center, this is the diameter, this is the radius. So the radius of the plano convex lens is there. What is lambda? Wavelength of light used. Once the thing squaring both sides, we are getting Rn squared is equal to n r lambda. Therefore lambda is equal to Rn squared by n naught. Once we know the radius of the nth dark ring and the radius of the plane of convex lens and an adder, we can be able to find out the wavelength of light used. But suppose there are two radii are given. Sometimes the problem is not asked as a single radii. If there are two radii, the radius of the 8th dark ring and the radius of the 6th dark ring are given, then the formula can be modified as R n plus m square minus Rn square by mr. What is m? Rn plus m minus Rn. That means radius of the 8th dark ring and the radius of the 6th dark ring. 8 minus 6, 2. Therefore, m becomes 2. So, 8th dark ring radius put in the first, 6th dark ring radius put in the second. Then squaring and then gets subtracted and everything substituted, we can get to the wavelength of light used. If there are only one radius given, use this formula. If there are two radii given, use this formula. This is the method for finding the wavelength of light of two different sources are used. Whatever may be the thing. The Newton's ring experiment is very important for monochromatic source. That also included in the practical. Sometimes the practical may be eliminated, but unfortunately, but anyhow, when you view through the microscope, we are getting the wonderful color pattern of the ring. That is dark and yellow color. If you move a microscope, automatically the rings are appear to come from bottom to top. So we can count the ring. If the count the ring as 8 or 9 like that, that is called 8th ring, 9th ring, etc. So this is actually given in the chart. So kindly make note of that. Then only we can understand what is a wedge-shaped film. I already told you that the air in between the glass plate and the plano convex lens filled with the air of varying thickness. Since it is varying thickness, it is just like triangle. This shape is called wedge-shaped. So air film in the form of wedge-shaped. So this is a triangle shape, from which also beta can be calculated. Beta lambda L by 2s. That is a formula for wavelength of wedge-shaped film. Lambda we know wavelength of light used. What is L? The distance between these two. That means the glass plate. 2s, S means the upper distance. That is a one side. If wedge-shaped thickness T increases gradually as we move from the end. So at the end P, the thickness of the glass plate is 0. So just compare the diagram for Newton's ring. The same diagram also there. So this is the thickness 0. When you go to, this is the value of P. So when you go to a higher position, the thickness going on increases. If the thickness is increases, the maximum thickness is there. That maximum thickness is S. Therefore, beta is equal to lambda L by 2s. Beta is equal to lambda L by 2s. If wedge-shaped thickness increases gradually as we move from the end P. At the point P, what happened? The thickness of the film becomes 0. This is the place. Therefore, dark fringe is obtained. The thickness is 0. We have to get a bright fringe. Instead of bright fringe, we are getting dark. What is the reason? Because automatic phase change of phi. So be careful. In all the interference pattern is concerned, the question in which pattern it is very important. We used to bother about Young's double slit experiment. In Young's double slit experiment, we are getting interference pattern by direct two light rays. In the Fresnel's vibration experiment, two light rays are coming after refraction through the vibration. That is also no problem. If we are using interference by reflection after the light single mirror experiment, that is from theory of thin film and the Newton's ring, etc., we have to use automatic phase change of phi, Stokes law. Then phase reversal is there. Be careful. These are the things we have to understand it. Interference in thin film also just now we have seen wedge-shaped film. This completes your interference, and tomorrow we will see next topic. Thank you.